Hi, today I'm going to show you how to make a wireline counter cable using all the tools and components necessary. These cables are used for all sorts of things like wireline applications, heavy duty applications, and we'll show you how to do all that today. So these are the tools of the trade. These here are your pliers. You got your different sizes, your large for your truck, your small for your car and other smaller applications, and your snipping pliers. Here you have your different sizes of inner core. You have your 0.130, 0.150, and 0.187. And as you can see, they are very flexible. Here you have your outer shaft, which again comes in two different sizes for truck or car or other heavy-duty applications. And here is our finished product. Now here, cut your cable to length. What you're going to want to do here is make sure the ends are flush. You don't want any kind of rough spots or anything like that protruding from the cable casing. Now here, what you're going to do is take and deburr everything. You don't want anything to protrude out. You don't want anything to interfere with the rotation of the cable. So what you want to do is make sure this is all clean. Remember to put on the nut first before your ferrule, otherwise you won't be able to get the nut onto your cable. This has happened quite a few times, so once you make that mistake once, you won't do it again. Next, take your crimping pliers, crimp at the base of the ferrule. Once is good enough, or you can do it a second time, which was what I do. The second crimp just gives it a little more grip and a little more flexibility in the field. To make sure everything is secure, give it a good tug to make sure it doesn't pull off the casing. Next, what we're going to do is crimp on our tip to the inner core. The inner core, what we're using is a 0.150, and we're using a 187 tang tip. Crimp on with the pliers once, but you can do two if you want. Next, what we're going to do is feed the inner core into the casing and watch for when it comes out the other end, so you don't have any product waste. Next, what we're going to use is a grease. We're going to use a lithium-based grease, not a graphite-type grease. The graphite tends to gum up the cables. You want to use the lithium grease for this application. It tends to last longer in the field, and you won't have to re-grease the cable as often. What you're going to want to do is grease the entire length of the cable, not so much the tips, but what you're going to want to do is make sure all of the inner core is coated with a nice generous coat. Don't worry about using too much grease. It's better to use too much than not enough. When feeding the inner core into the cable, what you're going to want to do is make sure the length is appropriate. Any more than this length, you risk binding the cable. Any less than this length, you risk not having enough contact for full rotation. Counter cables are used in wireline applications and can be mated to either a right angle adapter or a straight through adapter. Simply thread the nut onto the adapter and you are good to go. And that's how you make a wireline counter cable. If you have any questions, leave a comment below or visit us on our website at www.recordtechnologies.com.